I predict that this is going to become one of the biggest flops in Sony camera history. Hi friends, Dirk here. Sony proudly announced a 61 megapixel sensor. Let's take a closer look to two rival cameras, also from Sony, released a couple of years ago. One of which I personally purchased, the Sony A7C II, a very small travel-friendly camera with 33 megapixel, and they also released at the same time the Sony A7C R, a 61 megapixel camera in the same pocket-size format. What's special about the RX1 R III is that it has the old Zeiss lens built into the camera, baked onto the body. There are no interchangeable lenses, and in this day and age I think this is ridiculous. I understand we have a couple of such cameras coming from Leica, but this is Leica. Nobody buys a Sony to mimic Leica. Sony A7C II, interchangeable lenses. Sony A7C R, interchangeable lenses. Definitely my choice nowadays. All these three cameras have only one card slot for a UHS 2 card, and I find this not enough, especially given the price. But we'll get to this later. While the RX1 R III offers only 5 FPS continuous shooting, the A7C II can shoot up to 10 FPS and the A7C R up to 8 FPS. So the older cameras are outperforming the new one. Whoa, with the RX1 R III we can record 4K up to 30 FPS, 10-bit. Well, on these 2-year-old cameras you can record 4K up to 60 FPS in 10-bit. The EVF on the new camera with 2.36 million dot is almost identical to the 2-year-old cameras. The display of the RX1 R III has 2.36 million dots, and that is better than the older models. They have only a bit over 1 million dots. So I can see that is an advantage, but at least here I can flip out the screen, I can rotate it in all angles, and that makes my work as a photographer, filmmaker much easier. On the new camera you have a fixed built-in screen. This is a concept that is antiquated and that does not have any justification in 2025. The next trip back in history is that the new camera body does not offer any form of in-body camera stabilization, while here on the A7C II and A7C R and the 2-year-old camera bodies we get up to 7 stops off shake compensation. So the IBIS is fantastic in those cameras. Although Sony emphasized that the RX1 R III is pocket size, it is only 11mm smaller in width and 4mm less in height. It's not really a huge difference. And also in terms of weight, these camera bodies weigh 1.1 pound, 515 gram plus the lens. But the good thing is, and that's what makes them really travel friendly, you can take off the lens, put a cover here on the camera body, and that makes it much flatter, and this is really pocket size. Not the new one, not the RX1 R III. And now we're coming to my favorite category, and that is the price. The RX1 R III retails at whopping $5,100. What? Are you kidding me? Who has this kind of money laying around to buy a point-and-shoot camera that is completely dated? The A7C II retails at $2,400 and the A7C R at $3,100, and still of course on those two camera bodies you need to purchase a lens. Then you would buy the Sigma 35mm f2, which is amazing in image quality. Now you have a combination. Not only is it cheaper, it is more current, more 2025, and it gives you in video much better frame rates. And here's the biggest thing, the audacity from Sony. They want to charge for a body case separately $250. For a thumb grip, $300. And then get this, for the lens hood, that is a given that it's free on every lens purchase. For the lens hood they want additional $200 from you, or else you cannot prevent stray light from coming in. I mean, seriously, what was Sony thinking? Sony astonished me, and it has proven that time travel is possible. When Sony announced the RX1 in 2012, it was fantastic because this was a time that was dominated by DSLR. And yes, a pocket-sized point and shoot with a high-resolution sensor, with a really great lens, that was something special. The lens at the time was a 35mm Zeiss lens f2. And by the way, this is the exact same Zeiss lens that is built into the 2025 model. What a progress. The beauty about this, it gives us something to talk about, it gives us something to understand and to discuss what we don't want in today's camera world. Thanks so much for watching this. Till the next time, stay safe, stay tuned, and take care. Bye for now.